stipulates Nepal will not enter into such agreement pursuing the policy and principles of UN Charter, non-alignment, world peace, and above all, national interest of Nepal. And all unequal treaties will be looked into and corrected. What happened? Neither about two-third majority of the Nepal Communist Party, this is for the 5 years. But you say, you can see many provisions which give sweeping powers to MCC, even to command and control the transmission line, the land utilized for transmission line and its infrastructure. It is indefinite, especially in this competitive world when the big powers are competing in economic security field, not only in the earth but in the space. Nepal has to be very cautious, and the patriotic people of Nepal should think about the future of Nepal, Nepal's security, Nepal's economic independence, Nepal's cultural independence, to safeguard both its hard power and soft power. Countries either rejected the project or there was big controversy in their own country. This controversy and debates, the government of the United States persuaded to move on gradually, as stated by the President of the MCC schemes was the part of US interest to safeguard of United States all over the globe. Is a broad security strategy to promote, accelerate the US influence both from the point of militarization or to hold to develop the US influence all over the world. In the course of time, when the United States emphasized on looking the East or to focus on Indo-Pacific region, Nepal also was brought under the project of Millennium Challenge Corporation. Though it sounds the Millennium Challenge Corporation was an independent body, but it was or it is an integral part of the US government strategic move. The Foreign Minister or the Secretary of State is the chairperson of the MCC national organization. When the rivalry or competition between the big powers shifted towards Indo-Pacific region, then Nepal was also considered a strategic point to operate. As all of us know, the geopolitical strategic location of our country provides ground for big powers to operate both in our big neighbors and some of the other countries. When we talked about the MCC project in Nepal, when I studied the Millennium Challenge Compact scheme and several agreements, including the implementation agreement and several other agreements made by MCA Nepal with various ministry and departments of the government of Nepal, we can find many provisions which are oriented to maximize the US security interest and to promote its strategic movement in this region. Thus, the MCC project itself, as also stated by the high-level officials and ministers of the United States, is an integral part of Indo-Pacific strategy of the USA. There are several clauses, both in the main agreement, implementation agreement, and several other understanding agreements and letters which were exchanged between the government of Nepal and United States, clearly show the MCC project, despite its economic and development cover, the government of the United States has taken it as foreign policy promotion combined with security strategy. We can find it very clearly, not only on agreement and understanding, but when we study the documents and statements made by the ministers and higher authorities of the United States, it is very clear that the project, its implementation, operation, and even after 5 years, when the project schemes will be completed, but some of the provisions and the control and the presence of the authorities of the United States will remain in Nepal. That is very serious. We can imagine or we can think, if the project was only an economic development project, why in the main agreement it is stated that if any agency, any government authority of Nepal adopt policy, program, activities contrary to the vital national interest or security interest of the United States, the project may be terminated unilaterally. And the provisions of the agreements and understanding even made between the government of Nepal and the United States are not, they have not been made public. I think many people even do not know what is written in dozens of understandings and agreements. Only the main compact agreement and the implementation agreement have been made public. Other agreements and understandings and later exchange between both governments are yet to be made public. I think they will never make those agreements and understandings public. Thus, the Millennium Challenge Corporation itself was a product to protect decreasing US influence or to overcome the obstacles created by other emerging powers, both in the Indo-Pacific region and other parts of the globe. Thus, this has been the political, security, economic, strategic move of the United States. According to our constitution, Nepal cannot join any such strategic alliance. The article of constitution, the article 51D restricts the government of Nepal not to enter in such a security strategic treaty or agreements. Despite this kind of constitutional provision, some of the leaders of our country and then Prime Minister, they tried their best to rectify this agreement. Now this is in operation. Though public opposition, dissatisfaction is still in the country, and the voice against the provisions which are detrimental to our national independence, dignity, and interest. The government, especially this coalition government of the Nepali Congress and the CPN-UNL, seem very active to carry on all the operation and implementation activities of this NCC project. Thus, it is not only the economic development project as being stated by some of the leaders of the Nepali Congress, CPN-UNL, and others. Actually, all the facts clearly show the NCC project, not only in Nepal, but globally, is a part of US global security strategy, including Indo-Pacific strategy. That's why, as a Nepali citizen, patriotic citizen, we are very much concerned, though we are not in opposition, to take international assistance, that may be loan or grant, but such loans and grants, as the Constitution of Nepal, should be according to the national interest of Nepal. No one can go beyond the constitutional provision, but unfortunately, it happened in our country. With these words, I would like to congratulate the organizers and hope the deliberations in this seminar will be very fruitful and may contribute to sensitize the citizenry towards the national interest of Nepal. Also, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the foundation and especially Honorable former Prime Minister Jhalnath Khanal for inviting me to say a few words in this plenary and also giving opportunity to speak me later on. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Rawal, for completing your presentation in time. Thank you.
I'm not sure whether I can make justice to this vast topic within 20 minutes. I am afraid I may not be able to make justice to this topic. किनभने अलिकति भने अब नेपालीमा पनि There are so many agreements. Classified materials are there. Our leader, former Prime Minister Jawaharlal, and then Foreign Minister Pradip Diwali was also a member of the task force. Unfortunately, sadly, I would like to mention the fact that at that time, UN General Secretary Vishnu Pordal was at the headquarters. KP Oji was the Prime Minister. But what happened? Even Mr. Khanar asked for all those documents in writing as the convener of the documents, of the task force. But the government did not provide those documents. We repeatedly persuaded Mr. Pradip Diwali to take the responsibility to provide those documents related to the bilateral exchanges between two countries. But at this point, I have to say, unwillingly, he did not fulfill his responsibility. This is the situation. He was the foreign minister. Anyway, 20 minutes are not enough. Okay. You can see the logo. Before I enter into this deliberation, again, I would like to pay my due respect to the former Prime Minister, senior leader, Comrade Mohan Vikram Singh, and all those political personalities, academicians, paper writers, panelists, and above all, distinguished participants. Namaskar. Who owns the project? There are two logos. It is astonishing. Nepal government cannot use its logo in the project activities. And the entire copyright lies or invested to the NCC. And all intellectual properties belongs to NCC. Okay, it's enough. And I shall try my best to finish my presentation within 20 minutes. That's why I had to go very quickly. Excuse me for my fastness because of the time limitation. I will be very brief to all topics. In the US, what happened? You can go through very quickly. As I said in my earlier presentation or speech, in 2002, it was started in the US. Then it rolled on, agadi bade. This was in 2004, enacted a law, and then in 2004, 17 countries signed, and it went on, and the name of the agreement was put Compact, and before the Compact, threshold program was launched. Initially, 33 countries were there receiving the projects, and there were so many controversies. It was from the very beginning, as I said, related to the US security and strategy. Why I am saying so? I am completely 100% based on facts and the written statement statements on the documents and public statements made by US ministries, ministers, strategic reports, and high authority. You can see how those documents and the US officials and the ministers, they publicly mention that MCC is the part of US security strategy. You can see all in the list how these documents mention about that fact. In Nepal, in January 2012, a formal correspondence was made when Dr. Babra Bhattarai was the Prime Minister. My friends from the Maoist Party made me very angry when I put this fact, but this is the fact. In 2013, a joint team of MCC, led by MCC, formed in Nepal, and the leaders who guided the study was the US citizen. You see? So in April 2012, the government published a document, a notice in Nepal Gazette, Million Challenge Account MCA Development Committee was formed. At that time, the government had already decided not to form any development committee because why the MCC was exception? Anyway, Finance Minister, before the formation of the development committee, you can see Nepal Growth Diagnostics. A study was carried out under the leadership of US MCC members. Some people, they argue, no, this is a Nepali project. If it was a Nepali project, then why US-led committee was formed which brought this Nepal Growth Diagnostic? You can read it if you search in the internet. As you see, then Finance Minister, before it was the original agreement was signed by Gyanendra Karki, a Nepali Congress leader and the Finance Minister in the US, ignoring the protocols, you see. A minister from any country cannot sign such agreement and a treaty with a bureaucrat, but it happened. Later on, Dr. Yuvraj Khatibada did the same. Who was the Prime Minister at that time? Who guided to do that? Mr. KP Oli. He might be angry when I put this fact in public, but I don't care. Ratification of the FCC agreement, it is ridiculous. When the FCC project was very much debated in public, but in the House of Representatives, no member of Parliament was allowed to speak. I asked the then House Speaker, Agni Sarkota, to give me time. He restricted me within 5 minutes. You see? A member of Parliament was not allowed to speak at length. But anyway, I presented my opinion in writing due to the time constraint. And the members from the UML, led by Mr. KP Oli, was making loud noise, chanting slogans for the resignation of the House Speaker. But what happened? After 3 days of the ratification of the agreement, they withdrew from the demand. What was the intention? Intention was Mr. Dewar and his allies in the government were ready to ratify on behalf of the state, and KP Oli was creating the environment. That was the situation. Now you can see the guidance of the Constitution of Nepal. As I already stated, the provisions of Constitution of Nepal strongly restrict to enter into any sorts of security alliance. The article of the Constitution 51D clearly stipulates Nepal will not enter into such agreement pursuing the policy and principles of UN Charter, non-alignment, world peace, and above all, national interest of Nepal. And all unequal treaties will be looked into and corrected. What happened? Neither the about two-third majority of the Nepal Communist Party, nor other political parties, they entered into the provision of the constitution. Acceptance of foreign loans and grants. Also, there is clear provision in the constitution of Nepal, strictly followed to develop national economy and to take international loan and grant only to those areas of national priority. What happened to MCC? Loans and grant received from any country should not have the interest, freedom, independence, law, and dignity of Nepal. Isn't it? We are not opposing any country, including US. What would happen if the US had to sign such agreement, taking some grant or loans from China, Japan, or India? What would happen? This is the point. Conclusion of treaties and agreement based on equality and mutual interest. As I said, previously I mentioned Article 51 M2. Budget and expenditure. Look into the budget. Now, the total budget is 747 million, Nepalese rupees 1 trillion 2 billion. If you classify it, if you divide it, a huge amount goes to administration, and the headquarters is in the 5-star hotel. It was really for the Nepali people. Why this office is not inside the ministry? It is astonishing. Even the US advisors are allowed to sign in the checks. What is this? MCA Nepal completely under MCC. Even the government cannot direct, suggest any policy and supervise the MCA Nepal. But they argue, well, the chair of the MCA Nepal is the secretary from the Ministry of Finance. That's why it is under the Nepal government. It is ridiculous. You can see the budget division. Nepal is contributing 197 million. But in any agreement, including the compact agreement, nothing is mentioned how the contribution of Nepal will be utilized. In case the project is not completed within 5 years, then there are so many clauses and provisions clearly state US will bring back his money. But what will happen to the so-called grant made by the Nepal government to the project? What would happen? Nothing. You see, estimated 110 million amount of MCC per year. It can be easily managed in the country. I can give you only one example. Nepal government has not been able to recover more than 75 billion rupees from a single NCR. More than 22 billion Nepalese rupees is due to recover from the big industrialists for the utilization of electricity. There are so many areas. 110 million means about 11 billion a year. It is not a big deal. But due to the selfish nature and behavior of the leaders and the prime ministers, this happened in Nepal. There are so many misleading provisions about the duration, time frame of the project itself. Though they say this is 4 to 5 years, but you say you can see many provisions which give sweeping powers to MCC, even to command and control the transmission line, the land utilized for transmission line, and its infrastructure. It is indefinite. We can find many provisions contrary to the Nepali laws and vital interest. It is almost impossible to explain about all those provisions due to time constraints. You can see very quickly how many clauses are there. I am not speaking in empty. I can challenge any Prime Minister, any expert to discuss on the basis of these facts. It is not a matter of anger to any country, but it is a matter to safeguard our country, our people, our dignity, our sovereignty, and our independence, isn't it? This is what all patriotic citizens should think. It is unbelievable. US law, even future law, prevail over the laws of Nepal. I have given the articles and the facts. Can anyone challenge me? I have asked Prime Minister, then Prime Minister, and leaders of the political parties to come forward to discuss with me. But they never did that. Even in the parliamentary committees. They always try to evade, to come up, to talk about the facts, provisions, documents, agreements, and its serious negative implications on the long-run existence, dignity, independence of our beloved motherland. You say, even the cancellation, MCC can cancel any time, any moment, without any reason. But there is a clause, 30 minutes, giving 30 days notice, a country can cancel this project. If Nepal does so, then Nepal has to pay all compensations to the US. But if US does it, US does not like to do anything. That's why I call it unequal treatment. MCC-led project selection, I already put it. Selection of the project to the satisfaction of the MCC and consent of India. Think, can it happen in any sovereign, independent country of the world? Such thing can happen only colonized country. From the perspective of international law and our national law. So, MCC will have subsequent control. Even there is not only compact agreement, but also there are several agreements made by MCA Nepal with several ministries and departments. Is MCA Nepal as a country which can compel to sign the ministry and departments to move ahead according to its guidance? What is this? MCC procured the materials, all materials, and such procurement cannot be made with such companies which had some contradiction with. Okay, so I have a plan. I go very sweepingly. Okay, you can see, but I cannot explain now. Exclusively owns logo, as I said. Provision of Nepal to get any money back, I already said. Then no parliamentary and administrative approval request. If MCA Nepal and the MCC, they change annexes, agreement provisions, they can do anytime, as they wish. MCA board is not independent. No provision of how to generate the electricity and what would happen to the transmission line. No. Okay. Project partner, not explained. Liability to Nepal, very huge. Staff, according to the wish and guideline of the MCC. No, Nepal government has a role. Current and former employees of MCC are fully, they are immune, even if they commit act contrary to the law of Nepal. Prior, in every aspect, actions, MCC, prior approval is needed. Illusory moves for amendments. Sometimes the leaders of Nepal and the government, they try to cheat the Nepal people. I am sorry for using this word cheat. Why I am saying so? You see, correspondence was made with the MCC. Even Sherpa Deo and Pushpamata are present. They jointly wrote a letter to the US. Can it happen in another country? A sitting Prime Minister and leader opposition, they wrote the letter to MCC to make happy the officials of the MCC. We don't know about the response. And so, you have heard about so-called interpretive declaration. They mention about the Vienna Convention on the treaty. As a student of law, I have read it several times. No Vienna Treaty Convention clauses are attracted to a unilateral interpretive declaration. It was completely illusory to make full public, to make it easier for ratification. The fact is like this. You say, our former Prime Minister Dalat Khanal is present here. I would like to mention it with heavy heart. A high-level task force, including myself, as I said, then Foreign Minister Pradeep Diwali, he was the convener. We studied all the documents and with hard work, we submitted the report. We had 2 chairs at that time. They thanked us, but they never allowed to discuss on our report in the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Nepal. This was the Communist Party. Ridiculous. Never! When the agenda was made, after 2 days, the parliament was dissolved. What was that? What was the conspiracy? That's why I said it illusory. Conclusion. Let me finish very quickly. The project grant is not unacceptable just because it was given by the US. It is because loans or assistance must be in accordance with the country's constitution, law, international law, norms and the country's independence and vital interest. India does so. China does so. Even the US does so. It doesn't mean that we are standing for the right and the dignity of our country. It does not mean that we are opposing any country. Isn't it? So this is the issue. The Constitution of Nepal restricts, as I said, to enter into any treaty or agreement relating to security or military strategy. Nepal, according to the Constitution, has to be added to the UN Charter. As I said, it is not necessary to explain again. Main MCC Compact Agreement and subsequent dozen agreements are not based on the principle of sovereign equality and respect Nepal's independence, national interest, rather loaded with US security strategy. US security reports and ministers have publicly stipulated, as I said, MCC is a part of the US Indo-Pacific strategy. I have to mention in this regard, when Mr. Gewali was the foreign minister, he went to the US and signed the State Partnership Agreement. And with heavy heart, when I knew and when I read 10 points of the unsigned agreement to make the military base in Nepal for the US. Is this really a Communist Party and they are Communist leaders? Patriotics? I bet. Compromise on Nepal's independence, rights, law and foreign policy from Nepal and the Nepali people. Sorry. Government and major parties ignored widespread opposition to MCC project in public and in parliament in Nepal. Can all sovereign country thinks members of the parliament were not allowed to participate in a debate on this very serious agreement while the process was going on for the ratification. It is ironic that some of the leaders, it is needless to mention the name, you know them. Leaders of the parties and the leadership of the government in Nepal do not seem paying due attention to country's interest and security. Finally, when I am speaking about the unequal provisions and the provisions detrimental to the national interest dignity of Nepal, I request all concerned to look into the facts and provision of the agreement, which will clearly show the fact MCC is an integral part of Indo-US security strategy. Nepal, if it has to survive, should not enter any kind of military-like or security strategy to respect its own constitution, to safeguard its national independence and integrity. Especially in this competitive world, when the big powers are competing in economic security field, not only in the earth, but in the space. Nepal has to be very cautious. And the patriotic people of Nepal should think about the future of Nepal, Nepal's security, Nepal's economic independence, Nepal's cultural independence, to safeguard both its hard power and soft power. यति भन्दै अध्यक्ष महोदय फेरि आइसक्नुभयो यहाँहरूले मेरो कुराहरू ध्यानपूर्वक सुनिदिनु भयो for listening my presentation. I would like to sincerely thank all of you and also welcome our international participants. In this world, Nepal is looking forward to all those friends and well-wishers to contribute for the well-being of Nepal and the Nepali people. यति भन्दा अन्त्यमा म फेरि डाक्टर भुजुर मेरो मित्रले मेरो बारेमा केही शब्दहरू सद्भावपूर्ण पृष्ठभूमिको स्मरण गराइदिनु भएकोमा उहाँलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र यो कार्यक्रममा मलाई फाउन्डेसन फर पिस डेभलपमेन्ट एन्ड सोशलिजम को तर्फबाट यी केही शब्दहरू नेपालले भोग्नु परेका कैयौं असमान सम्झौताहरूको श्रृङ्खलामा सबभन्दा पछिल्लो पटक दुःखका साथ नेपालले बेहोर्नु परेको एमसीसी प्रोजेक्ट एग्रिमेन्टको बारेमा केही तथ्यहरू राख्ने अवसर दिनुभएकोमा म पूर्व प्रधानमन्त्री कुनै बेला त्यही पार्टीको म जहाँ थिएँ अध्यक्ष कमरेड झलनाथ खनाल कमरेड भन्ने उहाँलाई मनपर्छ भनेर प्रयोग गरे हुँ म उहाँलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र उहाँको स्टाफलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु with these words please allow me to stop my presentation. धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।